Yo, what's up trainers, welcome back to a new video, and in today's video we're gonna be diving into the Ultra League. I haven't been posting for a while now, basically because I didn't really have the greatest start of this season, and I always want to show some nice great content for you trainers. I've been starting a bit under the 2100s ELO, where in general I always start around 2300, something like that, maybe a bit under it, maybe a bit above it, but as I said, this season wasn't really the best of start, a bit of disappointing, but those things can happen. Which is not in the end the worst case, right? So the team I'm showcasing today, as you can see right now, my Hundo Electrode. I caught that mon a while ago, have been having it in my roster for a while as well. The team you see on the screen right now is not the team I'm going to be showcasing, but the first two battles are going to be with this team, as I was running this team in the morning, and then I decided, you know what, I may need to change my team up, as I saw a lot of Pokemons that were maybe weak against my double electric backline later on. Also, the moveset that I'm running right now is a bit of, I can't really choose because I don't have any TMs, which is really frustrating. Every time when I do get some TMs from either raiding or playing PvP, I just get, punished or destroyed by the game. Every time when I, for example, it took me 3 days to get Rock Slide on Figure. Every time when I changed it, I got Brick Break or a Bulldoze, any stupid move like that, instead of getting the move you actually want. Right now, or today, I also got the new Avalok, the Hisuian Avalok. I finally got Icy Wind on it after 2 or 3 days once again. So that's just really frustrating. The thoughts behind the moveset, as I said, I don't really have a thought or a choice, so this is just the moveset I'm running in general. For the Gustlord moveset, it just speaks for itself, right? You can also go for Crunch if you like debuffing, but I like to have Brutal Swing, as the damage per energy is better. And with the moveset of my Electrode, same thing, I don't really have a choice, but honestly Thunderbolt in the Ultra League is a move set you can really think about, as it just does more damage against your opponents. Obviously Discharge doesn't really cut it that much, although it is a nice move and you do get to it a bit quicker, but Discharge, or I should say the Thunderbolt, you will get there in 4 and 3, which is also very decent in my opinion, and it just hits a bit harder than Discharge does. So honestly, in those situations where you just need that guaranteed KO, or you won't get a lot of KOs with the Electrode in general, but still, it just, if they have like 60% or 70% HP range, that could be a range where you can get that guaranteed knockout with the Thunderbolt. So the team, as you can see right now, was very weak against Tapu Fini, so that's also why I decided to change it up, and it just worked out very well for me, and you will see that after this battle, yeah, Tapu Fini is just a big core breaker for my team right now. And having the Electrode, as I said, I had it for a while in my roster, but the previous season obviously was dominated by Steelix. Steelix is now gone due to the fact that there are a lot of fire types with the Incinerate that just got buffed, which is real nice in my opinion. So I couldn't really use it for a long time. I made it at a time where it was a bit irrelevant, meta relevant, with the Giratina, and Walrein I think was still live there, or still booming there. So that was a period of time where I made it, and honestly the meta has changed that much where electric type Pokemon actually got some decent play. Due to the fact that fire got increased, water type will then appear more often, right? But that also gives up a freeway for electric type Pokemon, because fire, or I should say water type Pokemon are obviously very weak against electric type moves. So yeah, that just gave me more confidence on, you know what, I should give this mon a try once again. And as I said, it just really worked out for me. So I lose this game, bit unfortunate, but as I said, really weak against Tapu Fini, so let's change that. So in this first match, we actually face up against a Poliwrath. Poliwrath is going to be a tough Pokemon for this team, especially with the Icy Wind buff right now. But still, we can just hard swap into that Ampharos and get the Thunder Punches off. They swap into a Tentacruel, and Tentacruel obviously is not going to be an answer for our Ampharos, and I'm just gonna go and spam out these Thunder Punches as my opponent doesn't really have a clear response to my Ampharos. Here I'm gonna decide to, I think I will shield. Yeah, I'm gonna shield here. They bait me with an acid spray, which is really unfortunate, and now we have to get this farm down. But before we get the farm down, they actually survive before the full switch get through, and they acid spray me again, and we didn't even get the KO, which is a bit unfortunate. So now I'm hoping that they come back in with the Polarid, which they do, so we can get some nice significant damage off with the Thunder Punch, or we get a shield as well, which we do, and that's actually going to be nice. As we are 4 stages debuffed, our defense has been dropped, they don't get a lot of farm there, which is well, in our favor, to be honest. And here we can actually send in the Electrode. I'm gonna go for the Thunderbolt as soon as I get there, but then make a nice catch. But the catch is not going to do much for them, as they catch it on a Pidgeot, and they were just triple weak against electric type mons, which is a bit well, insane if you would ask me, by going for that. But still might work for them. But if you've seen Ampharos, that's going to be a bit pain for you. But still, you do have the poison or the fast move damage on your team to get that Ampharos low, right? So as you can see, they go for an Icy Wind. I know we can survive here. We take out the we have taken out the Pidgeot, and at this point I think the Guzzlord is just too healthy. We still have a decent amount of health on our Electrode in the back, and they cannot get to enough moves to get the KO on the Guzzlord, but also the KO on the what's it called, the Electrode. So I forgot to edit this part out, which is a bit sad, but we don't have to wait for too long, as we will see the next opponent right now coming in, which is going to have Skeledirge. So Skeledirge against my Guzzlord is going to be a bit of a tricky matchup, as we do have to shoot everything they throw. My opponent here tries to maybe catch a Brutal Swing or anything like that, but I wasn't there yet, so well, still fine. But I do have to swap out at some point, and I'm gonna swap out now, basically because I do want to preserve, well, a bit of alignment, and I do also want to preserve my Guzzlord, as in an ABB line strategy team you always want to preserve your first mon, as that mon is just, well, sort of the core break, or the breaker of the Pokemon that is weak against, or that is strong against your backline, right? So I stored up some significant amount of energy there, so I do have an energy lead against that Skeledirge, which is nice. And I also don't really need switch at this point. I'm running an ABB line. They stayed in for a bit, so I'm guessing they don't have the hardest answer for my Guzzlord in the back. So I'm just going to let this move go through and get energy. That's just the name of the game in general. I'm gonna get it on my Electrode as well. I can tank a Body Slam. Electrode is okay tanky, I would say. It's not the tankiest, but still, as you can see, we can tank 2 or 3 of those body slams, and we outpace them to the next move. They were at a Disarming Voice, but honestly, Disarming Voice is not going to hit too hard. Here I'm going to swap. They get a sneak, which is fine in my opinion. Obviously, sneaking and incinerate through, or allowing your opponent to do so, is not the ideal situation, but still, we didn't play into CMBTI, and now we did, so they do have to use another shield if they want to preserve their Skeledirge, although I think it has enough HP to live this, but they don't know that I'm gonna go for the Dragon Claw, and we actually get that final shield, which is nice. In the back they have yet another Pidgeot, so well, things are looking okay, I would say. We still can will easily farm them all the way down if they go for a Brave Bird and then leave with a Foul Play, right? If they decide to go for a Brave Bird here, that's gonna be totally fine for me, so I'm actually gonna let this move go through. They go for a Feather Dance, so after this I'm just going to hard swap into my into my Electrode once again. They go for yet another Feather Dance, which is fine, and then as soon as I get to the move, I'm just gonna throw here. I got the shield advantage right now. I got a move stored of Brutal Swing in the back. There, Skeledirge is so low that this game is over by now, as there's nothing they can do. They can throw a move here. I don't need to shield, as I still have a move stored on my Guzzlord, right? So I'm just gonna let that move go through, and we actually get it off, obviously, but we get it off and we get that dub. So that's going to be a GG, very well played. Alrighty, next game we play a Guzzlord into an Ampharos. So obviously very positive lead. When I see an Ampharos on the lead, I don't expect them to run Focus Blast. So in general, I just make a ball play here and I don't shield, because on the lead I would definitely advise you to basically run Brutal Swing with Thunder Punch, maybe Trailblaze, something like that, but you don't need that nuke move if you're running Ampharos on the lead, in my opinion, as Thunder Punch and Brutal Swing is just good enough to, well, play against any type of Pokemon on the lead. As a safe swap in general, I would advise you to run a nuke move, but maybe with today's meta you don't really need to. So here I decided to swap into my Ampharos, made a nice catch, and at this point they win CMP, which is a bit unfortunate because I wanted that knockout there before I'm into, well, this HP range, but still it's gonna work for us. I'm gonna go for the Thunder Punch, even though it's resisted. I was expecting maybe they would gonna catch. We get to another Thunder Punch, and that's actually going to be super nice, as now they actually have to, well, probably shield because they don't want to take this damage, and we get the alignment we want, as we can put in or bring in our Electrode. So Electrode, we are not running Discharge. We are running what's it called, the move of a Thunderbolt, but still they have a Cresselia in the back, and we have the movesets, well, just basically to hit this thing for a significant amount of damage. My opponent is actually gonna, well, top left here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're gonna top left. That game wasn't over just yet, in my opinion, but I would say I was in the driver's seat for that game. So here we face up a Swampert lead, which is absolutely huge, as those Dragon Tails would do a lot of damage, just as it does against this Ampharos. They swap into an Ampharos. I'm just gonna, well, go for a move here. It actually does a significant amount of damage, as it almost takes out the Ampharos, and then afterwards I'm just gonna swap. If they go for a Focus Blast or anything like that, that's fine, but apparently they're not running it, as they didn't throw it. They go for yet another move, and this can only be another Brutal Swing, so I'm gonna let this move go through as well. Gonna go for the extra, and then we can actually get the farm down. So now we leave with a lot of energy here. We can spam this energy against whatever's gonna come in, and also we kept the alignment, which is huge, as we cannot take the Swampert on our Electrode, right? If that would happen, that would be absolutely, well, bad case scenario. I'm gonna go for yet another Volt Switch, just making sure that you get the maximum amount of damage on your opponent, and then afterwards we will actually, well, come in with our own Electrode. They have seen our final mon now. We are in a good spot. We can easily tank a Lunge, and Lunge is not going to do that much, as they're gonna, well, it does almost 50% of damage, but still we can get to the foul play here. They have to shield basically to preserve a mon that does, well, a decent amount of damage against my Guzzlord, and now there are 2 shields down. I'm just gonna hard swap now as well. Even if they go for an Earthquake here, I would be able to survive it, I think, well enough to just go for my moves and get the Swampert that low that we will win this game anyways. But I decided, you know what, I think they're gonna bait anyway, so I just decided to call the bait there, and they actually did. And now, if this game wasn't over already, this game is over now, as, well, they just need too much energy and there's just too little HP / time now for them to get there. We get the farm down. They have the Galvantula in the back. They even went for an extra Volt Switch. Not too sure right now if they were at the move. I think they were, but still, we could have shielded that one, and, well, we're gonna get the KO, and that's going to be a good game. GG, very well played. Alrighty, next game we face yet another Poliwrath. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna save swap into that Ampharos, and this time around my opponent actually has a decent answer in the back. So Umbreon obviously is a very hard mon for, well, in general for this team. Maybe if not, if you got it aligned to your Guzzlord, right? Because you can just apply that dragon damage. But we are not running a Focus Blast moveset right now, so we don't really have the hardest hitting attack moves or charge moves, I should say, to hit the Umbreon for. Still, my opponent doesn't know that, so if I just keep on building well, enough energy to potentially throw that Focus Blast, right, they might shield, and they actually do. So that's actually huge for us. I'm just gonna go instantly for the next Thunder Punch, just applying a lot of, well, as much damage as I can on this Umbreon. We get taken out by this Snarl, and now I'm just gonna bring in my Guzzlord once again. We can easily soak this energy. If they're running Psychic, they're completely done, but probably they're running Last Resort, as that's going to be a better move. They actually go for Dark Pulse here, so I'm expecting now that they might run Psychic, to be honest, and I think they do, so that's actually, well, even better for us, as we can now completely farm them. Well, we can farm them all the way down, leave with so much energy, and I'm actually going to fire off some energy here on this Poliwrath, as this is going to be, well, not debuffed, as they didn't throw a Icy Wind just yet, and we can get this thing significantly low, where we can then afterwards swap into that Electrode, and we'll probably get a nice get this thing as low as we can. So I'm gonna decide to shield here, I think, because I do want to preserve a Pokemon so that I can clear a potential debuff. And what do they have in the back? It's actually going to be an Ampharos. And I know this matchup well now because I've played it quite a while today, or quite a bit today, and it's actually not the best for my Electrode. I will get outpaced, I lose CMP, even though I'm one charge TM or one fast move ahead. They are now, well, we are now aligned, so they will get to the move at the same pacing as we do, sometimes even quicker, depends on which cycle they're on. So yeah, this is not ideal, and as I said, I lose CMP, and that's just a bit unfortunate in this matchup, and also a bit unfortunate of Electro. Even though I got 15 attack, I still lose CMP against, well, probably a ranked Ampharos. But still, Ampharos doesn't really have the moveset right now to hit me hard, so I might be able to, well, Dragon Claw this all the way down. They decided to hard swap, and I'm just gonna go instantly for my Dragon Claw here. And now I'm just gonna hope that whatever because I know they're gonna reach another move here, I need to reach another Dragon Claw. They reach it right now. Is Guzzlord tanky enough to, well, get this dub still for us? We actually tank it, and that's going to be a GG. Very well played, as we do reach that last second Dragon Claw, and that's going to be enough to get the dub, as my opponent maybe stopped playing the game, as the game just froze, but we get it off, and that's going to be a GG. Very well played. So very close game there, but honestly those are the most fun, right? So here we face up yet again another Ampharos lead. They stay in. Still, I'm not expecting them to run Focus Blast, as that's just not the moves that I would run in general. Trainers would run, in my opinion, on the lead, and they go for a Brutal Swing there, which is absolutely fine. I'm gonna go for a Brutal Swing myself, just because it does more damage, and we can get this Ampharos just, well, fairly quickly low, and we actually get the farm down, which is huge. So they swap into a Poliwrath. I'm gonna store one move, and then I'm just going to instantly swap into my Ampharos, and my opponent already thinks, nah, this is not going to be the day that we're gonna beat well, this trainer, so we're just going to top left. Skuntank is going to be a one that we can take on, and as you can see right now, they got well, probably no move on their well, in their moveset, right? Or they can't hit us for any damage really, because they are running Poison Jab, which is a fast move that does a lot of damage and puts a lot of pressure on our HP by time. But still, the moveset they're running is going to be Flamethrower, Crunch. If they had Sludge Bomb, that would have been a bit different, obviously. But they are not. And now after we have after we've gotten this Skuntank out, I'm actually gonna go and swap into my Ampharos. And what do they have? They actually got the combination of Tapu Fini with Trevenant, and this game is just over, as Trevenant does fairly well against my Ampharos. Even though if it goes for the Shadow Ball, I will still reach another move. This is going to be enough to take out the Trevenant here, so they have to shield here. They do shield, which is actually, well, which is fine for us. I can come in with my Guzzlord straight away, get this thing, well, as low as we can, and I'm actually deciding to let this move go through. Was expecting to, well, take it a bit better, but as you can see, we actually, well, cannot take it here. And my opponent here tries to maybe get a nice catch, but I was anticipating that, well, anticipating them on trying to catch it there. And as you can see, now we have the Thunderbolt, which actually comes in clutch, but it also is going to, well, put us into a range, or, well, put it, the Tapu Fini in a range where we actually don't get a lot of farm. So maybe I should have undercharged it there, because as you can see, my opponent is actually gonna get off this move, and now we need 2 moves to secure that KO. So afterwards, we are now at the back-to-back. I'm gonna throw the foul play here, and then afterwards we're gonna go straight away for that next foul play. Hopefully they're not at the move just yet. We click on the move, but I was off. I was 1 off, as you could see. So I think we will lose here. But no, my level 51, I got it as a best buddy, actually hangs on with 1 HP, and we take that win. GG's. That game got way too close for comfort, but we take those for days, because that was a fun game. So another mon that absolutely got no play against his team is going to be Jellicent. If you see a Jellicent and you lose, you're just shit. I gotta say it, you're just shit. You can't lose against a Jellicent team. So big chances that we are gonna win this game, because, well, Jellicent just doesn't have anywhere to run. I'm expecting them to probably have Ice Beam as they stayed in, but still, I'm just gonna gamble and go for the fact that they don't, and they don't. And they're gonna hard swap into a Registeel, and we're just going to reply with our own Ampharos here. as I wanted to swap out anyways and preserve my Gust Lord for later on. Well, since they are not having the move of Ice Beam, I'm, well, in a very comfortable position anyway, so it doesn't really matter which alignment I get. The only thing I'm worried on for right now is to get as much energy as I can. So I don't really need to switch here. I might want to shield later on just to make sure that we get this thing or this Registeel as low as we can. They outpace us here, so I actually will decide to use a shield here, because if I can get out of this matchup with a nice amount of energy anyways, I can probably hit that what's it called, the Jelly Sand anyways, for some nice Thunder Punch damage, which is going to help us anyway. So either that or get some shields down, and we get some shields down. So I'm just gonna go and go for the Thunder Punch straight away once again, and then afterwards, as you can see, my opponent will reach another move here, which is fine. I'm not gonna let this move go through. They won't reach another move after this Focus Blast, and I decided, you know what, let's get some extra, or let's get some energy on our Electrode, and they come in with their Jelly Sand, and this just tells me that they are so weak against electric type Pokemons in the back as well. Gonna go for the move here. They decided to shield up, so you know, we're gonna shield up as well. Well, I think at least I'm gonna shield up as well, as you can see, and we're gonna get this full farm down unless they try to swap out. What do they have in the back? It's going to be a Poliwrath. We can go for this Thunderbolt, and this is where actually Thunderbolt really helps out in those situations where you just need that significant amount of damage. As you can see, we actually take them out, or we don't take them out, but they're low enough where we can well, Dragon Claw them down before they reach an Icy Wind or anything like that. And yeah, we take them out, and there's just nothing they can do, and they decided to top left. GG's. Alrighty, next game, or this is going to be the last game, I think. Yeah, this is going to be the last game. So, yeah, well, let me know in the comments down below if you like this team. Maybe you can spice it up a bit if you don't got a Hundo or a level 51 Electrode, which I can imagine, obviously, as it might be a hard Pokemon to obtain or to grind for. Still, maybe use some other electric type Pokemon such as Luxray. I think Luxray is a very strong mon as well, especially as a closer. You can use it as a safe swap as well, in my opinion, just because it has a very strong moveset of Wild Charge, Scrunch, Psychic Fence, stuff like that. All moves that are very relevant right now in the meta. So, let me know in the comments down below if you got any questions. Besides that, this is going to be it for this video, and I hope you trainers enjoyed it, and I will see you trainers in the next one. Peace.